Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'm going to do an unboxing of Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness by Creative Games Studio. This is a huge dungeon crawler for 1 to 5 players, which plays in about 15 minutes per player for ages 14 and up. And before I unbox this giant box, I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below. Patrons get a lot of cool perks such as their name in the credits, early access to all of my videos, and access to Patreon exclusive stuff as well, and you save up for the exclusive Board Game Heaven enamel pin. And with that out of the way, let's open up this box. Right, so here we go. This is a gigantic box. Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness, a game by Daniel Alves and Yuriko Kunha. Nice art. I really do like this art. And lifting up this heavy box, there is also this really cool art on the side, so you can store it horizontally on this side with the bottom or the top. Here is just the logo with this character next to it. And you can store it vertically if you want with either this guy, this abomination, on the side of the box, or on the other side you got this warrior with the horned helm. So that's the box, and then we have the back of the box, which of course shows you the contents. There's quite a lot, so this is going to be a long unboxing, so grab yourself a snack and a drink while we do this. So there's some text there about the game. The contents are here, and this is the core game version 2 from their latest Kickstarter. Let's open up the box. Boy, oh boy. All right. First of all, we get a whole bunch of books here, so let me open that up. Wow, so much to read. There's a rule book here, which is nice in a ring, so that's handy. You can fold it all the way over, that I like. And you can learn to play by watching a gameplay video right there. Very much appreciated. That's so good. So we got Chronicles of Drunagor's Age of Darkness 1.5, it says here in the rule book. So we get the contents there, even how the boxes, the trays in here are stored. And here are the game components, all of them listed. There's a bunch of miniatures and a bunch of cards and tiles, so that's going to be really cool. And of course here, you know, the game structure, knowing your hero, the basics of what you will find in this game and how to set up a game. More basics on the game. Basically starts the rules right there and explains everything as you go. There's action cubes, status cubes, recall actions, conditions of course, immediate effects, resource tokens, hero actions, things you can do on your turn, and look at that cool 3D terrain. And your skills, how to attack, how to target. And there's another QR code there for replayability, it seems. Class abilities, dungeon rolls, equipment. Some cool art here. Double-sided items. Monsters. More on monsters here. Oh, there's plenty to read. The darkness, which creeps up on your party as you play. So you are a bit on a timer, as it were. That the darkness kind of makes you just go ahead and not dilly-dally. The camp. other playing modes even. You can play one-shot adventures or player versus player, but I do prefer playing campaign games. And there's also a whole bunch of keywords here, so terms dictionary, which I always love to see. If you just need to look something up real quick, this is where you go. You don't have to search through the entire booklet. That's great. All the tokens even sorted by type. That is also very nice to have as a reference on the table. Quick rules and tips chart. So this is, yeah, they've put a lot of thought in this rule book. So that's the rule book. Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness adventure book. So I'm not gonna show you everything in here, just the first bit, because these are all campaigns. There's plenty of them. 18 chapters, 3 interludes, 118 pages. There's a prologue here that you read before you start, and everything has this really nice art. And then you start somewhere. You set up your first dungeon tray and your first door. You read the introduction, and there's a couple of rules here. There's a couple of special events usually that happen end of the adventure, after the adventure, and that's the first adventure. It's very short, and then you go to chapter 2. You have a new encounter, and that goes on like that. See here, it's a bigger encounter, and it gets bigger as you go. So I'll stop there, but you can see there is plenty of stuff here and some really, really cool art. Look at that. That's some good art there. So nice thick book of adventures to play. Then we have an interactions book. So you look things up in here, you know, when things happen. I'm not going to spoil this either, but oh, man, again, the beautiful, beautiful artwork. So you can, you know, think different things will happen. Let's keep it at that. All right, so we have that. Wow, then we have all of these doors, which I am not going to open because I don't want to spoil this, but this is really cool. So what you do here, well, you're not really spoiling anything because you're scanning a QR code, but there is text on the back here. So you fold these in. You fold this one in first, and then you fold that one over, so the front and the back only shows the door. Right, and this is for chapter 17, so you can see for which chapter this door is. Cabin in the Forest, that's like the first one. So you open that up. When you open the door, you take it out, you fold it open again, and you read what it says, and you do what it says. And that's how all of these work. And I think that's a super cool and clever idea. So you can even, you know, scan the QR code. You will be directed to our door database where new challenges await you for replayability. So yeah, that just really fun, cool idea. We have a booklet here, or a you know, sheets in this block with your character stats. So you can fill in your name, your levels, stashed items, etc., to keep track in between missions, of course, because this is a long game, this is a campaign, and you need to keep track of everything as you go if you want to finish it all. So that's what this is for. Also very handy. There's a booklet here that says Start Here. This open and play guide will help you set up and start your first single player adventure in the world of Drunagor and teach you all the basic game rules. Built for approximately half an hour of play, it features the first chapter, a cry for help, in a playthrough style. So you can already start doing this solo and learn the game before you have a game night and invite your friends over, so you can already explain to your friends how it works after having played this alone, which is an option, but really cool. This basically just teaches you everything, and that's it. And another, so you can keep this on your table for reference, and you know, something else from the rulebook perhaps. So that's also very nicely. And I really put a lot of thought in this. The more I see of this game, the more I am liking it already. There's a nice cloth bag, I guess for tokens when you need to randomly draw something. It's really cool. Nice felt bag. Then we have all of these tiles, so let me open those up. So the first pack of tiles has these 2x2 or 4x4, if you will, because these are all squares with different kinds of terrain on them, and they all have their each unique code, so you can easily identify them. And there are some icons on that as well, which mean different things, explained in the rulebook, of course. On the back here we have a tavern. Then we have this stone hall with these statues in it. Looks like a mausoleum or something, a tomb here. And on the back there's an outside street with some carts and some crates, some barrels. Then we have this watery area here with these lily pads or whatever they are, and something swimming underneath. There seems to be a dead person floating. And on the other side we have this torture room with a prisoner there. There's a rack, Iron Maiden, horrible stuff. Then we have this here, which seems like a ship, I guess. Maybe you have multiple of these next to each other, forming a big ship. It's really cool, because this is the sail. We have the hatch to the lower decks. And here is the door to the captain's cabin, I guess. Some tentacles coming from the water there. That's pretty cool. And on the other side we have another stone hall here. And what's this? Some kind of tomb again with the lid off. Creepy stuff. We have these cobblestones here, big slabs of stone. And on the back, some barrels. Really nice looking art. We have this wooden floor here. And another type of throne with a whole bunch of skulls. And some sigils in these circles. Here's another one of these. This looks exactly the same. And here's another stone hall with another statue there. We've got some grass, outside areas here as well. That looks really nice. And this is just pure darkness, which is the same as these tiles. Here is a road, country road there, and more stones. So those are all the smaller square tiles, and then we have a whole bunch of bigger 2x3 area tiles. So we have this room here, kind of steampunk with all these levers, weapons. Oh, traps. We have a trapped room. Then more of these stones, some kind of dungeon, more outside areas. More of this. They did recycle this artwork quite a lot, it seems, because this is basically the same again. That's kind of a shame. Would have been nice if that had been different. More wood. Doesn't really matter for things like grass or floor, you know, like cobblestones and wood. But this kind of art is really unique, and you don't want to see that repeated. So forest. And some kind of, so this again looks to be a repeat of what we've already seen. Let's check to be sure. It does look like it, yeah. Well, it is what it is. Then we have this area right here. Some kind of fountain or pond. And more darkness. More stone streets. Ooh, there's some lava, magma coming through the cracks in the floor here, and a nice skeleton there. Some dwarven looking floors. Really cool. Here is a study, it seems, with a desk, lots of books, a throne, or just a chair. But this looks very arcane. More darkness. And here is a big table with chairs. That looks cool. Then we have these dragons here, 4 smaller dragons surrounding some kind of sigil on the floor made with crystals. Performing some kind of rituals, maybe? I don't know. And then we have this kind of temple-like floor, it seems. All right, and then we have this outside area, grassy and snowy area, up in the mountains, and more stone floors, and it's some kind of portal, statues there. That looks cool. There's a whole bunch of tiles here. Again, some kind of creepy looking dungeon, and a big statue. So we're not there yet. We get another temple or whatever it is. Oh, that actually connects to this. Look at that. A very big room. That's cool. And on the back, yep, same thing. This connects to this. Awesome. There might be more tiles that connect somehow. You never know. Here's an outside area again, cobblestone road. And again, a dungeon or a, crypt of some kind. More roads and more crypt. Cool. Can't wait to delve into those. And then, of course, we have a whole bunch of tokens. So let's get this out of the shrink wrap. All right. Let's go through this real quick. So these are all these darkness tiles, and they have different kind of shapes. There's single ones. There's these Tetris shaped ones. And they will be put on top of your tiles and moving towards your heroes to keep you going. And we have all these types of tokens, all kinds of conditions and what have you. Some health tokens there. And they are double-sided. So there you go. Punch board 1 of 6. Punch board 2 of 6, of course, has more darkness cards, more of these, basically more of the same. All right. Punch board 3, some new tokens there. Double-sided. Punch board 4, pretty much more of the same. And then here, this is interesting, of course, punch board 5 has some more tiles here, but these are thicker. So that's pretty cool. And it looks like these are meant to be assembled somehow. There's slots in here, as you can see. So they might be 3D somehow. Bridges across tiles. Whole bunch of status tokens and whatnot, and this track that you piece together like this. And yeah, you have different roles in the game: defender, support, leader, striker, controller, and their runes. And then we have these familiars. Really nice looking art there, and a bunch more of these tokens. Again, a double-sided, and they punch out very easily, as you can see. So those are all the punch boards. Then we have all of these really cool game trays for your heroes, so you can again save your progress, and I do like that. This one is empty, but to give you an idea, they click together. You can put cards here, tokens or dice or whatever you need in the middle there, and then you just click that shut and that'll stay closed. So that's really cool. You get a whole bunch of those, 6 of those, and they put all the components in here for storage. So here, for example, you have this die with different conditions on it. These are printed on, just a black die with printed on faces. And here is a standard D20. nice and marbled look. Then we have a bunch of these cards. So, well, let's open up some cards. All right, so there's a whole bunch of cards. So I kind of grouped them together where I think they belong. I'll have to sort that out, of course. But here's the character cards. You have Elros, the Elf Assassin, on the back. Some stats there. You have Jaheen, the Human Cleric. Again, stats on the back. And this is for all of them. Lorelei, the Elf Mage. Maya, the Human Ranger. And then we have Vorn, the Dwarf Warrior. So 5 heroes. Then we have companions. You can have these heroes as companions as well. So here's Elros as a companion. There is even a Hero Reborn, Hero of Darren companion. Jaheen as a companion. Vorn and Lorelei and Maya as companions. Then there are some other companions. Here we have Captain Connor and Captain Connor Unarmed. Ronald Kynes. We have Janina, and we have Oliver Twist for some reason, and Simon Kiblish. So those are the hero and companion cards. There's also a bunch of these familiars or pets. So there's a dog, 2 dogs actually. They have this on the back. We have a wolf, an eagle, a bear, an elemental, another dog, and a pet dragon. So we have those. We've got hero class cards that look like this. This is for the warrior, the ranger, the mage, the cleric, and the assassin. And they just have like these skills on them. These are called deadly arts, shadow arts, trickery with a level 1, 2. Well, I guess you choose which level 2 you pick, or maybe you just have to at that point. So they all have that with different text on them. There's 3 or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 for each class. So that's those cards, those class cards. Then there's these roles, I guess you can pick. So there's a controller, a defender, a leader, a striker, and support. And you have these cards that go next to your hero board, which we will see in a bit. And these are not always double-sided, but some of them are. So like this, for example, that says there's an A and a B side, and others don't have that. They simply have a 1 and a 2, and then a 3A or B, leader, 1, 2, 3A or B, etc. So same for all of those. So the third card is double-sided, so I guess you pick one of those. Then we have more of these skill cards. So for every character, like you see here on the side of the card, there's a number of these skill cards. And they are also double-sided. There's a level 1 side. And on the other side, of course, there's the level 2, which gives you an extra, basically this, and then an extra skill. So there's a whole bunch of those as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 per hero. Let me put those aside. Then there's a whole bunch of these, I guess, item cards. Again, some of them are double-sided, some are not. They all have this purple logo in the corner of the card. And there's a whole bunch of those. So, for example, here, the Cosmic Gemstone does nothing on the back. Here is the Undermountain Scabbard, which does have something on the back. Potion of Healing. Oh, this is actually a chest. Oh, these are not in the right stack. These are like loot. They have this chest icon on the back. Again, Potions of Healing. These are like discard one-time use items. There's treasure, scrolls that you can use with a spell, and a Cosmic Gemstone. So these are treasure items. These other ones I just had, these belong to this deck, which again has all of this on the back here. So these are also, again, items. And some of them can be crafted. Here it says, hey, if you do a certain thing, you can flip this card over and it becomes this, and you can use that on your hero. And there's a whole bunch of these. Some of them double-sided, some of them are not. So yeah, there's quite a lot, quite a lot. There's even some companions in here, I see. So they were still mixed in with this deck. So there's another companion. Put that with the rest. Here's a scenario monster. We'll find those later. Another companion. They got lost somehow. More of these cards. So there you go. I have another one. Let me put that aside. So yeah, all of these cards. So there you go. And there's more here. All right, so we have a whole stack of those cards. We also have a stack of cards that have this anvil in the corner on both sides. Cloth armor or leather armor, I guess you can pick. Or maybe it depends on what you find. Plate armor. And on the back, leather armor. There's an elvish bow and a wooden staff, a jagged blade axe, a wooden staff, blooded sword, a wooden staff. So these are, I guess, basic items. Maybe you can buy them or craft them. We'll see. Then we have a whole stack of these cards which have an anvil and either 1, 2, or 3 stars on them. There's a whole lot of those, and again, items to upgrade your character with. All kinds of weapons and items and armor that you can wear. Just a whole bunch. Real cool illustrations as well on all of these. It's really nicely done. Every item has its own unique art. Sometimes you'll find, you know, the same art is used again, but I mean for the same kind of thing. Heavy shield, here the golden shield. It's really cool. A ring. But there's a lot of art in all of these decks of items. So we have those. And then this is kind of a bit of a mixed deck. I didn't really know what belonged where, but we have different kinds of events. We have a buried treasure event card, which has text on the back. That might be a bit spoiler terrain there. Then we have a wandering monster event card. Oh, a few of those. We have villagers in distress events. Then we have this Commander Archon, Fallen Priest, and Commander Bane. And yeah, so there, I guess, for specific scenarios or something, we have Commander Attack cards that go with them. There's a bunch of those, and they have just text on the back of what they do. We have these cards. Draw 1 rune or 2, darkness hunting, undead king haunting. There's these cards that I don't really know. It has to do with the darkness, of course, because of the drawing on that. Here's Jim Volin, a cursed guardian, which is an item on the other side. And we have, let's see, so we also had this guy in a previous, it looks kind of the same with this icon on it. So I'm going to put that together with those cards. Then we have some monsters here. We have the Abomination, Rookie, and an alternate, standard and alternate, a fighter, a veteran, and a champion. And then we have the Shadow Knight, again, Rookie, fighter, veteran, and champion. Standard on one side, alternate on the other side. Shadow Knight, same thing. And then these are the black cards, so I guess these are really strong. Then we have the gray ones, Executioner, the Rotten Flesh. There's a bunch of those. The Shadow Vampire. And then we have the white cards, the Shadow Cultists. A number of those. And the Skeleton Archer. There's even a Skeleton Archer minion. And then there's that other blue card that we found earlier, the Shadow Vampire Spawn, Scenario Monsters, these blue ones, apparently double-sided, side A and side B. Torment of Envy, Scenario Monster, Murderous Apparition, Scenario Monster, Manifestation of Wrath, Mournful Apparition. So we have all of those. And then here again, special attacks for Fallen Heroes. There's 2 cards of those. Here is a Fallen Hero card. Hero of Darren on the other side, placeholder for the initiative track. The Guardian. Here's another of these yellow cards, gold cards. A Commander Brute. Here's a Dire Executioner, another Scenario Monster, but this one is red, not blue. And there's an encounter here. First encounter, last encounter, Raise Dead, Assault Order, Undead King. Well, so I guess for the end game. So those were a bunch of smaller cards. Then there's a 6th tray here, which has the clip-on colored bases for your various miniatures to identify them. So we have a bunch of those. And we have some bigger ones as well, so, you know, there will be some bigger monsters. These are made of a flexible rubber. So there's that tray. All right. Then we have your hero dashboards. So let me open those up. So here you are. We've got Elros, the Elf Assassin. And here you can see that on the left, you can put those ability cards or skill cards. On the right, you can put your items like armor, you know, weapons, I guess, gloves, amulets, things like that. You've got your skills here as well, some abilities and proficiencies as well. So there's spots for everything. Here's your health bar, of course. And on the back, there's a bit of a bio. That's really cool. So you can read about your character. Then there's Jaheen, Lorelei, and all of them have really nice art. Maya, Vorn, and here is the Undead King, the big bad guy of this game. And on the back, you have all of these condition trackers that you can use, which is also very handy. Here's the camp board. You can follow these steps when you visit the camp. And on the back, again, another condition tracker. And those are the bigger dashboards in this box here, and they fit on top of this tray. So yeah, there's even the lid has a spot for things. So we have this board. So I see in reboxing coming up, this is where all kinds of tiles go. Very nice. Here's another tray. And there's even some more tiles. So let's take a look at those first. So here we have the front of the ship, the bow that we saw earlier. And some more cliffs here. Then the back of the ship, the stern, I guess. And some more crypt or whatever there. Some more wood. And forest or grassy path. More of that sludge, that green stuff. More darkness. More of that water with the creatures underneath. More traps. Here is a bedroom. And loot, a treasure room. More stone corridors here as well, with some kind of portal there. And more cracks in the floor with lava. And some of these runes on the floor. Cool. So we have those. Then we have this tray that is obviously for a whole bunch of tokens, as you can see. So we're going to figure out what goes where. And then we have miniature trays. Oh, very big tray here. We're going to take a look at these miniatures, of course, in detail. And there's trays in the top here for all kinds of tokens, I guess, as well. So I will have to do a reboxing video to figure all that stuff out. So here are the skeleton archers. Let's have a closer look. So that's really cool. Lots of detail in the clothing, the bow. There's even a sculpted base there. The quiver on the back. That looks really nice. Yeah, plenty of detail there. I really like that. Nice sculpts, nice and big as well. Seem to be compatible with most modern miniature games in size. So there you go, you got 4 of those. Then you have this creature, kind of like that demon-like or gargoyle-like creature. It does have 4 arms. It's got a weapon there, this jagged sword, and these billowing robes. Even some chains there. The small wings on the back. It's an interesting looking creature. So we have 4 of those as well. Then we have this this abomination guy. Very big, very creepy looking. Big hands. His gut stitched together. All kinds of abscesses there. Horrible looking creature. There's even an extra arm sticking out there. with a head. It's kind of absorbing other creatures or other people. Horrid. We got 4 of those. Anyway, this very intimidating looking fellow with this big double-edged scythe. And the big horned helmet. Very muscular figure. It's got a cool cape with some skulls on it, or even heads. Reaper guy. 4 of those. And then we have 4 of these wraith-looking types. Just mostly very ghostly. It's got also has 4 arms. It's got a dagger there. It's holding a skull there. And this, well, part of his scales, I guess. Maybe to have something burning in there. Good detail on the robes again. Really nice. So 4 of those. There's a spot here for the D20, I guess, which was in here. So let me just quickly grab that. Yeah, that'll work. And then finally we have the 5 heroes here. So let's take a closer look. Here's the dwarf holding an axe and a hammer, I guess. It's a very weird looking axe because it doesn't look very sharp. But the hammer looks really cool. Yeah, plenty of detail once again on the hair, the beard, the pauldrons there, the clothing. It's got a little pouch there and a big cape on the back. And then we have this roguish guy, this assassin with 2 daggers, pointy ears, long hair. There's something on the belt there. Again, a cape with fur in the neck. They really like capes. Standing on a bunch of skulls. With that one. Then we have this, I think this was the cleric. Standing on a rock, sculpted in the base with his hammer and a shield. That is a very cool looking detailed shield. Really nice. There's even details on the hammer there. And the wood on the inside of the shield. So we have that one. Then we have this character. This sorceress. With the really nice details there on these bits of clothing. And holding a staff. Oh, there's even, there's details on the robes there too, which is really nice. And the long hair. So that's a very nice looking mini. And then finally we have this hero with this ranger, I guess, with the crossbow. That's a very big crossbow. Has some armor on the shoulders there. Shorter robes. It's got a quiver with bolts. And, high boots. Yep, fun looking figures overall. Really good. So let me put that to the side. And then we have some more trays. Here in the bottom, we have a tray for, I guess, oh, this is, I guess, I don't know. Is this a terrain tray where you put tiles on top? I guess it is. You put tiles on this, and this is your raised, elevated terrain. And these slots here and here on all the corners, those are for the doors. The doors that we saw earlier that you fold together and you can stick them in there. So you basically put two of the bigger tiles next to each other to create one large room. Ooh, there's a whole bunch, a whole bunch of tracking cubes, which you use for your heroes. Oh boy, now all kinds of colors. That's very colorful. That's a lot of cubes. Oh my lord. Okay, so they did make a nice big square spot there to keep them. Here are more of those terrain tiles. Raised areas. There's two of these. I'll just leave them on top of each other with, again, spots for the doors and a spot for a 2x3 tile. So there's two of those. And then there's two of these with a raised area. So here's a 2x2 area and a 1x2 area. Again, with slots for the doors on all the corners. That's really well done, really cool. So yeah, this is what you play on. All right, then finally, this has been a very long unboxing. We've got these bigger chaps. We have this one here. Big, 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 gigantic warrior holding a very large sword. This intimidating helmet and a big flail in the left hand. Look at that. Even has details on the armor there. Skull. Bunch of skulls there, I think, on the belt. Heavily armored character there. Super cool. Again, sculpted base. That looks really nice. Super nice. Yeah. That's a cool looking figure. We get 3 of those. Then we get 3 of this large chap. There's a huge maw. He's got something around his neck. Some kind of wooden thing with a chain on it. And it's got armor on the arm here. With some of these claws, I guess. Chains around the belt. Here are these meat hooks. There's an extra hand sticking out there. That's really cool. Lots of meat hooks there. Intimidating looking figure. Very dynamic pose as well. So yeah, there you go. 3 of those. And then finally, of course, the Undead King. Here he is. Also very, very large figure. This Lich Lord, I guess. Holding a tome of spells in the right hand and a large bone staff in the left. It's got a huge crown, a skeleton face, these big pauldrons that we also saw on the art on the cover of the box. These spooky looking heads, all the chains on the robes, and there's a lot of spooky things going on here at the base. Like this whole wave of, I guess they're souls coming out of the robes and swirling around him. More skulls there on the back. Again, sculpting in the armor. Really, really cool. Very cool looking figure. So there you go. And so that was my unboxing of Chronicles of Drunagor Age of Darkness by Creative Game Studio. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.